So please let me know if you see also Visual Studio Code opened.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, thank you for pointing this out. Okay, so as I told you, we will need these tools: Node, npm, nvm, and Visual Studio Code. Uh, if you don't know exactly how to install them, you can let me know. I'll provide the links, and also there are many information, and it's everything detailed on how to install it. Of course, after installing, you can check that they are correctly installed by checking the versions. npm no node, sorry. So we need this to be installed along with Visual Studio Code. Here are the details. Also, here are the details about installing the Visual Studio Code. More than that, we will need a playwright test. Playwright for Visual Studio Code is an extension, and it will get installed by doing this. Playwright, yes, but due to the fact that it is already installed on my side, I will not get the option to install it. You can also use the extensions to install it. You can search by playwright, and this is the one which we will need. Playwright test for Visual Studio Code. Since it is already installed to me, I only have the options to uninstall it, but you will have the option to install it. Here is also the documentation on how to install this plugin. Do you think it's quite clear on the tools which we need? In case of any questions, please let me know. Okay, I'll take the silence as it's everything clear. Uh, Also, besides this, I will give you the GitHub link to the project. I'm not sure how it will be better to paste it directly here in the chat. Okay, so this is the project which I've created, and it looks like this in GitHub is here. So uh, everything looks exactly like a classic project, but here we will have to deal with a site named demo QA. Oh no, I will open directly here. I'll open it here. This is the site I was using for learning, to say so. It's uh, it's a better word. Uh, can you see it, or more than
Yep,
that?
yep.
Okay. So this site is an interesting one. It can be used to test and to automate some, how to say, most used things such as text buttons, checkboxes, radio buttons, web tables, all all sorts of things which you can have in a web application. At the end, there is also a bookstore application which can use it for testing an entire flow, to say so. And here is the code, to say so. More than this, you will see in the links, because I will send you also the link with the documentation. So this site, um, playwright dev docs intro, here you have all the information in a much how to say, in a much properly explained way. How to install the playwright, what you will see after you install it. Also, you will have things like how to search for a component on the web, how to deal with all the things which you will see in my project. Of course, I will not be able to insist on each part of this site, so I will not be able to explain everything. But I will show you directly into my project, and you will see it because you will be able to use it. Uh, I didn't ask, but I suppose, or at least I think you are quite familiar with what I've told you until now. So with installing these things, using GitHub and things like this, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you have worked previously with this, but in case something from here will not be clear, I will ask you to let me know. I will give you my email address, and I will respond to any question which may rise, because it's normal to be questions. So after you will pull the solution from Git, you will be able to open it with Visual Studio Code. Once everything will be installed, here in Explorer, you will see the files. For example, this is the code of the project. Of course, I've comment some big part of it because it will otherwise it will take quite long to run. But you will see in the code that I've dealt with each type of web components, such as buttons, links, file downloads, forms, what's here, alerts, frames, windows, and so on. Of course, there can be more things, but this is what I did so far. Uh, so this is in the Explorer. Is here is we have the search. Of course, Visual Studio Code works also with the source control. If you don't know how to do it, please let me know. There is an extension called GitHub Actions, which can be installed, of course, from here. GitHub Actions. Yeah, this is the one, and you will have the entire flow in Visual Studio Code. Of course, you can use code space. You can use, I don't know what it's better for you and what's more comfortable for you. Here is the tab of testing. Now here you will see the tests. Actually, to run once you wrote the test, you will run it from here by using this button, Run Test. Of course, you will once you will install the extension, you will be asked to install the browsers. Not sure if you already saw it. Here, here it gives me the possibility of selecting which browsers I will need. So I will check them and install all of them. I had a problem in the past. So the problem was that Firefox did not work well with Playwright. So for this, they have how to say, a personal Firefox, to say so, which is this one. And I will run the test to show you exactly how it's working in this case. So the tests are can be run from here. Uh, it will open a browser, I hope, just because I'm not sure if it will work with this. I had problems in the past with Firefox. It seems that it does not want to work. Yeah, it's not very well supported, but uh, let's see if it will do something. Yeah, it opens here. It will work quite hard because I haven't used it from quite a long time. This is called nightly, and because I'm also recording, I think it will crash a little bit. Let's see. Okay, I will close it because it will not work. I will stop it and I will try to use Chrome. Let's see if it will want. I suppose that due to the fact that I'm also recording, it will take a little bit. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So Playwright did all the actions I requested it in the test, and now at the end it will also write a report on this. So let me show you exactly. So this is the test, and the test is composed of let's call it a function which starts everything. You don't have to keep in mind this because you will see in the example, and it will be quite easy. What I've did here is the fact that I wanted to have the locators in separate files. So the locators, the locators are the things with the components of a web application. So each field on the application. So let's, for example, here text box. This is a text box which is identified by a locator, and you can see this in the field usually called ID. I suggest to use the ID whenever it's possible to identify a component on a web application, because usually the IDs are unique. Of course, you can use other fields, for example, placeholder, text which is displayed, and so on. And I will show you an example here. uh, I put the locators here in the locators JSON. This is a JSON which is imported, and then you can uh, you can use it like this. So in case the ID will be changed, you will not have to replace it in each file where it is mentioned, but you will just have to change it here in the locators. This is how my locators file looks like. So for the text box, uh, in our case, let's pick this one, the text box full name. It has the ID username, and Uh, here, my full name text box is mentioned as ID username. As you can see, to define a component by ID, you will have to use this. In case you want to use its text, you will use text equal to text box, because if we come back, we will see that here this is the component which will actually open the menu. It has the label text box. Of course, you will have here, when you will have a look in the documents, you will see a lot of ways to track the components on the web application. I've just wanted to show you an example. Of course, there are a lot of other possibilities. For example, for radio buttons, these are IDs, these are the display text. Uh, Button click, this is the name of the button. This is how it is called. Click me. Here is the ID of the option in the list, option menu 5, item 5, which will be this one. For example, I just want to show you some examples. 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose this one is. No, ID 5. Just a second. Item 5. This one, links. So you will see a lot of things on how to access the web page components. Now, let's get back to the code. And here, actually, what I did in the beginning. This is classical. You will just copy it. We set a timeout for the test. So for example, if a component cannot be reached in the timeout mentioned here, an error will be thrown. Uh, Also, here is the in the, not the index, the web page link, which is configured here in second in package. No, here in configuration. So this is another important file because here you will define the parameters of the test. So for example, where the test will be add, which will be the folder, which will keep the tests, if the test will be run, can be run parallel, and a lot of things. So here I will set up the base URL, and if I have a base URL, whenever I will start the test, I will only mention on here. I will only mention this because by this the test will know that it will have to pick up this base URL. So this will be the first link which will be open. Here is the launching options. For example, if I check start maximize, the browser will be maximized before starting the test. And you will see here I will define the the browsers. There are some browsers which are used by default, like Chromium. This will not be Firefox, but it will be that nightly, which is some version of Firefox. But you can also use branded browsers. For example, I have here Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, and so on. You can also configure your local development server if you have it and if you keep the site on a local machine. Now, uh, here I have the test data. What is this? This test data is used when I want to fill in, for example, text box. Let's pick up this example. So here I will click on the text box menu option, which will open this text box, and I will want to fill in this text box with a value, and the value will be picked up from here. Fill in with what? With textbox data dot full name. Textbox data it will be imported here. So basically, this variable, to call it so, will keep all the data which is placed in this JSON, textbox JSON, which textbox JSON is placed here under test data because it will keep the data which will be used to fill the text box. So, for example, here this uh, full name is this data test. I don't know, whatever. If I change it with I don't know, today 1903 24 and save it. And I will run the test again. As I told you, we come here and we run the test from here. Okay. It works quite slow because I have a lot of things open and it's not my best laptop. Okay. You see, here it filled out. I will show you the report, and you will see in the report. Here you can see a small error. It's not a test error, but it's due to the fact that I suppose it skipped the action of closing this window. You will see much more things like this. I've experienced them. So at the end, you will have to generate a report. The report is placed here under playwright report, and it's called index.html in my case. I will open it to show you how it looks like. This is the report. Here you have all the actions which you had in your test, and at the end you will have the screenshots. And here is the screenshot which shows the fact that the new data for the text box has been picked up from the JSON with the change. So now going to the report, the actually after a set of actions in professional using, you will have to have some screenshots. Each report will have to be attached, I suppose, to, I don't know, to a test track and something like this. So in terms of screenshots, you have action which will take the screenshot once you will have this calling in your test. So my suggestion is the following. Please let me know whether it was quite clear or you have questions or things like this. Let's see how much I can help with your questions. Then you if you want, you can try it by yourself. You can pull the project from GitHub. You can try to install everything as I explained and also as I will put directly in the chat. Is it okay if I place all the text here in the
Yeah.
chat, or how do you suggest?
I'm not sure he's going to stay here. Maybe use the Discord channel better.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Uh, Here, I'll place everything here. Okay, it's in Romanian, but is it okay? Can you see it?
I guess that's the wrong group. You should using course dash QA, not mod.
Not mod.
Yep.
Okay, course.qa. Okay, but where it is?
Don't worry about it. We'll do it. We'll do it after we close this call.
Okay, okay. So, uh, Actually, this is the way of working. Of course, you will see that there are a lot of things which will need to be understand. For example, you will see that once you write a test and you will run it for 5 times. For example, I had a issue with the following thing. It ran correctly for 4 times and it crashed for the fifth time. I don't know why, but I I experienced this kind of things. Actually, this kind of things have seen in eggplant too. So I wrote tests, they run correctly for 10, 20 times, and for the 22nd time it crashes. There are things which are, I don't know. I don't know how to explain you why this is happening, but I just want to tell you that it happens. So don't be scared. Run it again when it crashes. Of course, each question. I mean, whenever you will have questions, please don't hesitate to ask them either in the channel or you can send me an email. I'll place the my email address there. So please let me know if you have some questions by now. No question? Everything clear up to now?
No feedback is good feedback.
Not every time. Not every time, because sometimes it can be the possibility that nobody understood everything. So or much worse, nobody saw anything and they didn't understood at all. This is my problem. But there is no problem. If something is not clear, please just send an email to me. I don't know. I will place my email address in the chat you mentioned, because here uh, maybe it will be deleted. And please let me know when you will have problems. Try to install everything exactly as I mentioned there. In case you will have problems, please let me know and I'll try to help. Thank you for your understanding, because I'm not how to say, I'm not very experienced with this. This is what I did by myself, and yeah, if you can, please try to install it, try to write some tests, try to run them, and in case you will have issues, please let me know. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Adi, for sharing your knowledge with us. You will be added to the other Discord group, and anyone who needs a little bump can will be contacting you. Thanks
Yes,
again, and I
exactly.
think you can stop the recording right now. All right, any